Hello, Merry Christmas, and an early Happy New Year to everybody. Just thought I'd share with you a few things now that Christmas is over. Um, haven't worked in the last few days, so that's been kind of nice. I was able to get some painting done, and just submitted my first submission for the Analog Painting Challenge. I can't show you those figures yet until that post gets uploaded to the blog. Once it does, I'll do a quick little video of what I painted for that. But I will show you what I did over the last couple of days. I finished up a couple of more figures. So some of them you saw me get started on. So there was this. Let's get it in the shot here. So there was this Spanish War of Spanish Succession, 28 millimeter figure from Foundry. And I painted this with oils. And I really, really liked the way this came out. I'm very, very happy with the detail on the figure and also just the way the colors worked out. Primarily, the entire figure was painted with glazes. So very, very thin oil paints, layered, and then allowed to dry. Usually they would dry in about 24 hours or so I can go and paint another layer on it. And I really like the way it worked out. Let's see if I can get it up a little bit closer so you can see a little bit more detail, maybe. Unfortunately, I'm shooting this on my iPad and it doesn't autofocus, so I'll take some stills of this with my phone and then get a little bit clearer so you can see some more of the detail on it. So there was that. I really liked the way this one turned out. And the other one that I really enjoyed, which I think turned out really well, is also another Foundry figure. See if I can get it in the shot here. And again, this one was done with glazes. And I didn't pick a particular unit to paint either one of those two. I just kind of took generic colors that I knew a lot of different units used. The standard bearer for that I just showed you could be any French or Austrian unit that walked on a battlefield during that time. So, and this one could be just about any British unit or Dutch or Portuguese or a few others, Italian. But I really, really liked the way this turned out. And again, it was all done with oil paints. It's still a little tacky from what I finished up last night. I really like the way this turned out. Again, I'll take some stills of this so I can get a little bit better detail than what's showing up on my iPad here. But you get the idea. I really think they turned out well. I like it. I'm going to continue with practicing with this style of painting just to see how things go. I have a whole lot of 28 millimeter figures to paint for the challenge, so I will continue to do those along with my 10 millimeter ones for the challenge as well. But yeah, I like this. I like how it turned out. So Christmas came and went. I got a few things that were hobby related. The last few years I've been part of a gentleman named Chris Stosen's essentially a Secret Santa. So if you have a blog or some way of showing a website or something like that of figures, you know, that you're currently working on, things like that, you put your name in a hat, you get, he randomly draws your name out, sends it to somebody around the world essentially, and they paint up a few figures for you. And I think there's either a 5 pound or 10 pound price limit I can't remember which it is now. But anyway, it's very low, so you're not going out and painting like an entire box of Warlord figures for somebody. It's just a few, just to add to their collection. So I wanted to show you what my essentially Secret Santa sent me. Some 25 millimeter Romans, essentially doing some engineering work or fortification work. This one digging with a shovel. These are really nicely painted. Really, really like these. The guy with an axe. The detail on him is very, very good. And one other guy. Looks like he's moving stones. Oops, get him in shot here so you can actually see him. But I thought this was done really, really well. And then also she, I'm not exactly sure who, also added a little fortification diorama. Really nice. It'll look really nice on the table once I get the other Romans taken care of and we get that taken care of. I'm going to show you a couple other things that I picked up. Let me just move these real quick. Whoops. Move these over here. So my wife picked up for me 1/48 scale knight. It says with spear, but I don't see a spear there. There's definitely a sword, though. But anyway, from Chex Masters Kit. And I may get this put together and primed and use it also for the challenge. Again, just to practice painting. And I'll probably do this with oils as well. Also, this, let's see if I can get the light out of there so it doesn't come out so fuzzy. So this is a 1/16 scale French Musketeer from Mini Art. So I'm going to put this together and paint it up. And if I can get through what I have primed and ready for the challenge, I'll do this one for the challenge as well. Also, totally unrelated to painting or the wargaming hobby, one of my all-time favorite movies, Abbott and Costello Meet Captain Kidd. For as long as I can remember, every Sunday morning, I grew up in New Jersey, and Abbott and Costello movies were always on Sunday mornings, and I always watched them. I love Abbott and Costello movies. This was a nice present. And also, got a copy of Dunkirk. And then also, I'm very into film noir movies. So, you know, Humphrey Bogart, things like this. And Touch of Evil is a nice addition to my collection. I did pick up for myself a book on how to paint like the old masters. And essentially I bought this because I wanted to pick up some details, better details on using like raw sienna, burnt sienna, raw umber, burnt umber, and using the glazing technique which the old masters like Rembrandt and the gentlemen of that period used. But the book has a really interesting section, which I'm going to show you if I can get it all into shot here. Let's see here. So one real nice thing about this, if you're into painting larger scales, shows you how to pick out and where shadows and highlights should go. And then the rest of this particular portion also shows you, how to, where your light source should be, or how you should determine where that is and be consistent. It has lots of things like colors and mediums and everything else about what the old masters used. And each time, the author of the book would paint one of the master's pieces using their technique. So, and he goes from start to finish to show you how it was done. And you just kind of go from there. There are some gorgeous paintings in here that he does in different stages. So you can see them all the way along. So it's been a really informative read. I've enjoyed that. And the last thing, probably the best present. I don't know if anybody else out there knows about Bob Ross or has watched his program or anything like that, but my wife and daughter got me a Bob Ross bobblehead. And it talks.
Let's wash the old brush. That's the fun part of this whole technique. Shake off the excess and just beat the devil out of it.
So, this was the fun present. Oh. Other than that, I hope everybody has a nice, safe New Year. From my family to yours, I wish you all much prosperity in 2018. Be safe. Enjoy your families. Love your neighbors. Love your family. And I'll see you all in 2018. And also, I would just like to say thank you to everybody who has subscribed to this channel. When I started doing this, I didn't quite know what was going to happen. I wasn't sure if I was going to be able to continue on with doing this, but I just wanted to say thank you, everybody, for the support and your comments and your helpful hints on how to do things. So I really appreciate it. Again, Happy New Year, everyone, and see you in 2018. Bye for now.